Hello everybody and welcome to CRC Classics, and yeah, we are going to be doing qualifying today, last session of the morning, and then it's off and away. The teams go and then they'll come back later in the evening, or well, they probably won't leave, but they'll be off the track. So let's go to Classics qualifying now. Let's switch over and get this show on the road. I'm hoping that this stream will be slightly better, because although I've finally got them working now, these streams, but they're still incredibly laggy. Hopefully on single player it doesn't use up as much. And I can do it because I've only got one application running, so this should work better. I wouldn't expect it to be great though still. Just trying to make sure there's all the right people in this session. Looks... I've got Varnich. Varnich leads the championship at the moment on 72. Then it's Mackay. Then it's Peter James. We have him. Tara Steele. Katie Hallows, yes. Chuck Helan, yes. Thomas Marsh, don't even know how to pronounce that name. Thomas Muskiewicz. Hinkston. Blakemore has, I believe, left the series. I'm not entirely sure because he's a reserve driver again now. But, Kate Esley. There's no Kate Esley. There. I'm getting all these random AI. Kate Esley. She actually loses a minute of qualifying, which is a bit unfair. No, I'll restart it. That makes it fair. Yeah, so Ben Blakemore has left the series then, I think. Amelia Wise. I'm just making sure that we have everyone. Yes, I believe Ben Blakemore has left the series then. Because, yeah, he's back to a reserve driver now, but I don't think he wants to rejoin. So we'll restart the weekend, and then we are underway for CRC Classics. And ignore James Casey, that's the default car. Apparently James Lang is in first place. There we go, that's more like it. There's a bit of an odd camera angle, it still looks like from viewing from the helmet. But the session is now underway. Bex Howie's still a guest driver. Obviously she didn't race in CRC, so she doesn't count as, strictly speaking, one of the drivers. Varanich, championship leader, is out on track. Let's see what he can do. And these cars always look ridiculously slow round the corners. They look, for me, they're all right down the straights actually. And then they seem really slow around the corners. But I think this track will suit them. I think the cars will be quite good round here. So really, what we'll do is we'll compare them to CGP3. We'll compare the times they were. Oh, we can't compare it to CGP3 actually because there was a 9, like a. Oh, apparently Ben Blakemore is in the series. Oh. I couldn't find his AI though. Jack Brabham. He's not here. Ben Blakemore isn't even in the mod. He would have come up by now. Don't know how, but it's gone over the maximum number of AI as well, mind that. But he missed the last two rounds, but let's go back out there. Just while we're trying to sort this out. But he's allowed in. But here is Varanich starting his lap. But yeah, CGP3 had a massive range of lap times. We had a 141 on pole, and like other cars were doing 150s. So. And cars looking. It's always good to see these cars going around the track, seeing drivers fighting against the steering and stuff. It's interesting that all these drivers, obviously, they drove in older CRC cars, but nowhere near as old as this. It's much older cars, but I mean, CRC wasn't even around when these kind of cars were here, but they're the sort of cars that they would have been racing in. It's interesting to see these drivers how quickly they actually get to grips with it. Varanich, Mackay, sorry, have got used to it really rather quickly actually. But Varanich's lap has been ruined here by the car in front. I'm not sure who it is, but he gets past now. His lap definitely ruined by that. It's a 15-minute session, but that's actually a really short session for these cars because the laps are really long. So he runs it on the grass, but gets away with it. But yeah, that's not actually that long. It's quite tight to get out and then get back in and then get out again. Varanich goes fastest on a 2:06. Straight away beaten by, oh my goodness me, I'm not even going to try pronouncing it. Straight away beaten by Thomas. That's his first name. I'll just call him that. I think you should give it a try, but I don't want to sound like an idiot. I don't want to sound like an idiot trying to pronounce that. Thomas is fastest. He hasn't actually been that high up. Really, I think if Varanich has another lap, he should go quicker. Kate Astley's third. Oh, that's King has gone fastest, but it's immediately beaten by Amelia Wise. Kate Astley's also been someone who's further down. James Lang What? Why is he there? Is he one of the AI? Or is he just there randomly? He's not on the list. James Lang's just there. Oh, he can't. Oh, that's the default car. Just cancels it. Okay. I didn't realise it says my name, but Bex Howard, the guest driver, goes 5th. That's not too bad. Tara Steele 4th. We have a new leader actually. Who was that? Holly Steele. But it uses my name on the thing, but it says James Lang for some reason. No, well, we won't dwell on that. Now in 3rd, we have a new person in 4th, and that is Flora Mackay. Peter James goes fast on a 2:05. Let's go with on board with Varanich. So Thomas was quickest for a little bit. Varanich goes 3rd. A lot quicker, not held up this time round. Katie Hallows is in last at the moment with Jack Keelan, who I believe neither of them have set laps, and that's why they're so far down. Now, who's going to be up there? I'm trying to think of cars that will be near the front. Yeah, from a car should be. But they won't have too much time to do a lap. I think Mackay, this might be our only run, because think about it, she's got a good minute left in this lap, then an in-lap of 2 minutes, then she's only got 4 minutes 30 left. Minute preparing, yeah, you know, maybe one lap at the end, but it's quite tight, these sessions, really, on time. So we enter the halfway stage now. Mackay will be aiming to go to the top now. She doesn't want to be leaving it right until the end of the session to set the time. I think the cars come into the pits, don't they? I'm not sure. I'm not very familiar with how the classics works. I'm not sure if they spend the whole session out there or whether they do actually pit. I think they pit. No, Mackay doesn't even improve. Maybe the tyres aren't there for a second lap. I just thought they would be able to cope for that long, but Peter James has gone back to the top now, and Jack Ilan has gone 2nd. And I think they stay out for the whole session because Varanich is still out there as well. Yeah, so I don't know why they do that. It's a bit stupid, really, because sure the tyres will go off, but so there's quite a big gap actually. James leads by half a second from Amelia Wise, who's just gone 2nd actually. Varanich down to 5th. For Mackay 8th, so it's a competitive series. The championship, Varanich is quite a long way clear actually, but there's been a lot of different winners. 3 different winners in 4 races. Varanich has got 2 wins, and that's really why he's high up. He's the most consistent driver up there. But yeah, I mean we've had Thomas has got no points, and then got 2nd in Great Britain after getting his first points in Valencia. So it's a competitive series. So you can never lift off. You always have to give 100% if you want these good results. And Varanich seems to be person who can do that. But at the moment, fit is not what he would have wanted, really. Here he goes, exiting the final corner. Where will he go? Doesn't improve. I think the tyres are starting to go off. We're not seeing as much improvement now. There's a car crossing the line in front. Hallows is 2/10 down. So it's not massive. It's not like the tyres are going off massively, but Amelia King currently... No, not Amelia King. Who is it? Emma King. It's Amelia Wise. Emma King in 7th place. Ahead of 2nd place in the championship, Flora Mackay, which is quite interesting at the moment. Very low down in 8th. But yeah, no improvement there. I think starting to struggle now on tyres. Try and see if there's anyone near the end of the lap. We'll go with Tara Steele. Yeah, just to emphasise the competitiveness of the series, 3rd to 6th. It's only separated by 12 points. And obviously we've got Bexhill as well, the guest driver, who's come to the series and slotted in that midfield and made it even more interesting. Let's see where Steele can come now. No, tyres are definitely going off. They're not going to improve, I don't think. Can't see anybody improving. I'm really surprised they didn't come in. Maybe they thought that there just isn't enough time. We have to try and stay out. Which is fair enough, because these cars are obviously harder to prepare than the modern cars, because they weren't designed to be quickly changed. They were designed to just work, really, these cars, because they were so unreliable at the time that was all that really mattered. Was if you could get a car working, you'd get a good result, really. Yeah, no one's improving now, so I think that's what we're going to end up with. Bex Howie's actually ended up not having a good session in 11th place. Debut is in Valencia, so she said. This is her 3rd round in the series. Remember, it's only qualifying and race, and these cars are so much different for what they'll be driving as well in other series that they're in. Most of these drivers that we have here, a lot of them are driving in GT in the Le Mans, in the KSR Le Mans. We've got a lot of these drivers in the GT. A surprisingly low amount in the LMP1. LMP1 is mostly CRC drivers and CGP2 drivers. These drivers, most of them seem to be in the GT cars. Quite a few in the AM. I think about half the AM cars have these drivers in them, even more actually, more than that. And the only former driver in LMP1 is Maya Webb Contreras, but she doesn't actually compete in this series. Yeah, and even Bex Howie down in 11th can't improve. So yeah, the tyre's definitely going off. We have 30 seconds left in this session, and it's pretty much confirmed now that Peter James will be on pole. And he's still going round. Might as well just come into the pits. He's got this one in the bag. Amelia Wise with 2nd place. She'll be very happy with that. Extremely happy. No points in Turkey or Monaco. 1 point in Spain. And 4 points in Britain. She hasn't been really that competitive, but now she sits in a competitive 2nd position. So be very happy with that. Yeah, and Varanich won't be. But apart from that, no major shocks, I suppose. We would expect Jack Helan and Holly Steele would probably be around there. Yeah, I mean, those midfield drivers are in the midfield. It's just that Varanich isn't at the front. That's the main surprise, and Mackay as well. I suppose Emma King having a better than usual session, but yeah, it's always good because, as I said, it's a competitive series, so you don't have. I'm saying it's a shock that Vranich is down the field, but it's not, because they have to work hard to get these good results. So it's not a massive shock. You do get these changes, but yeah, there we go. Pulling into the pits. That is the end of the session. And yeah, most of the times setting that first half of the session, the tyres really going off at the end. But that is the grid that we have. Peter James is on pole. Yeah, 6 laps. Most drivers did 6 or 7 laps. Hallows and Hilan only did 5. But there we go. That is the end of the session. And yep. Hope you enjoyed watching that, and yeah, that is it for the morning session. Now we're all done with that, and it is time to leave for the morning, and then be back in the evening. CRC qualifying is going to be the first session, and that is going to be an interesting one, because Yana Taroka have got a bit of challenge this weekend. They only got first in practice 3 by 11 thousandths of a second. But anyway, I'll see you then. Thank you very much for watching this morning, and it's been a successful morning. Actually, I managed to finally get these streams working, which is good. But I do apologise about the terrible quality and the lagginess of them all. But unfortunately, the computer isn't really designed for gaming. So if it's running a game, I have to run it on really low settings and streaming at the same time. Not really what it's designed for, but it could just about do it. But yeah,